Greetings, citizens of the internet. I'm Static Buzz, and this is the Gaming Watch special edition news. I don't know what you want to call it. Special episode where Oz, who's with me over there, how you doing over there, Oz?
Doing pretty good.
So we're basically going to give our Blizzcon predictions, what we think is going to be happening, and what Blizzard's going to announce and whatnot at BlizzCon. So if you guys have ideas of what you think they're going to be showing, then go ahead and put those in the chat, and we may or may not address them if they're along the lines of what we believe or whatnot. So how do you want to start this off, Oz? You want to do like your first prediction, and then I do mine, and then we go back and forth?
Do you want to go through like every game, or do you want to just go by title by title? I do one by title, you do one by the same title?
Well, not the same title, but I say you do one, and you say like why you believe that that's what they're gonna do, and what. Say, are we gonna get cinematics? Are we gonna get gameplay? What are we gonna get when they do show it? That kind of thing. And then I will respond to what you said if I agree, disagree, or whatnot, and then after that, then I'll give one of mine, and we'll just go back and forth. Sound good?
Okay, sure.
All right, so go ahead, hit me with yours.
So, all right, so I'm going to start off with World of Warcraft. So, with World of Warcraft, we're going to get a expansion announcement. Now,
1 second.
That may...
Hi, fan. How you doing? Greetings. Welcome to the stream. Go ahead.
Hey, fan. And then they're also going to give us a in-depth or detail about patch 8.3. So they're going to cover the newest patch that they're going to do. That's coming up, and then they're going to talk about the expansion, which I believe is going to be probably taking on the new Lich King after reading everything and discussing it with family that plays, reading this stuff in Reddit. I think we're going to go back to take on the new Lich King, only due to the fact that they need something after this expansion. This expansion was not as successful, and they need to have a successful expansion, or they're gonna lose more subs. So I think they're gonna shatter the ice and take on the new Lich King.
So what are they gonna give us when they announce this? Are they gonna give us cinematics, gameplay?
Oh, so of course they're gonna give us the announcement cinematic for the new expansion, like they do every expansion, and then there'll be a whole panel dedicated to it, which will cover what the new thing is for that expansion. So like for Legion, it was the weapons. For this one, the current one, it's the necklace. So for the newest one, it'll be the thing, and then it will be the new races, the new zone. It'll talk about, the art behind it, and, going over character models and stuff like that. And then, of course, with the patch 8.3, it'll probably be covering the final raid, and then it'll probably also give us the dungeons leading into the raid. That's what I expect out of World of Warcraft.
I do agree that there's going to be an expansion. I am not totally convinced it's going to be fighting the Lich King like your brother described. That your brother was convinced, and he was very convincing. But I haven't
read it.
Right,
yeah, they're very convincing.
But there's Reddit is people like you and me putting down. It's fan theory, so it's possible. It's possible that they will go back and take on the new Lich King, and do it in the other realm like your brother was discussing. That's very possible, but they also could go a whole nother direction, in my opinion, that we just don't see. I think that we'll get a cinematic. I don't gameplay. They won't show that because there's no need. We know what World of Warcraft is, unless they want to go in and talk about some changes to classes and show new spells and abilities, then maybe we get some gameplay. But if they're not doing that, it'll just be cinematic for whatever expansion.
Every BlizzCon, if there is an expansion, they do give you gameplay out on the demo floor of like the entry zone, like that first entry area.
Granted, but
So,
I'm only talking about the actual live show. So when we're talking about
yeah,
this, we're only talking about the live show.
okay,
I guess I should have specified. I forgot you've been to BlizzCon. You've seen the floor.
yeah.
I got to remember that. So yeah, I do agree. We'll probably get an expansion. What that expansion is, we'll have to wait and see. I think. All right, so I'll save my big one for the end. I think we both agree on this. We'll see Diablo 4, and it'll have a huge cinematic. They will show gameplay of a couple of the classes, if not all the classes, so that they kind of show them off. And yeah, I don't know if they go much past that. They will have another part that I'm saving for the end because there's a part that I haven't told you about we're going to do on this, and when we get to that, this will be one of the things that I add to that. So cinematics on the stage, though. So cinematics and gameplay. They'll show the classes. The classes part to me is what's going to be the most interesting. What classes they have in Diablo 4. I think it's a given we're going to get Diablo 4. It's going to be what classes they decide to put in there. Because, I mean, even the last one, they went classic barbarian, but everything else, I mean, was different. The Demon Hunter, yeah, it was an archer class, but it was a whole different class as opposed to the Amazon. Then they did the Crusader, which was like a paladin, but a whole different take on it. And then, what was the fourth one?
The mage.
The mage, yeah. So the wizard, I guess the wizard is the wizard, but it still was a different take on it.
There's always a mage in Diablo.
Oh, definitely. There definitely always is. So, anyways, that's what I'm thinking they're going to do. They're going to give us that. So
Diablo. Okay, so I think they're actually going to announce a Diablo 2 remaster or remake because I think they owe it to the community.
Okay, but before we get to that, do you think what are your thoughts on Diablo 4?
Yes, I think there's going to be a Diablo 4 announcement. I also think Diablo Immortal will be given a release date.
I'm actually expecting Diablo Immortal to be released that day.
Well, I think it's going to be released that day, but we'll have a date finally.
Yeah.
I definitely think we're getting Diablo 4, only due to the fact that there has just been so much out there that has been leaked, and they really owe it to the Diablo community because they've been neglected for so long. But I definitely also think there's going to be a remaster for Diablo 2, only due to the fact that it was so successful, and they're going to want to bring it to a new engine. I think that'll.
What engine do you think they're going to use?
I think they're going to use Diablo 3's engine. Because Diablo 4's engine probably isn't done, or if it is done, we're only going to get to see little bits and pieces of it that they have perfected. But I think bringing Diablo 2 to Diablo 3's engine will hold people over till Diablo 4 is ready.
All right, so here's a question for you.
Sure.
Is Diablo 2, if they use the Diablo 3 engine, going to be its own separate game or a expansion for Diablo 3?
No, I think it'll be standalone. I just think they're just going to reskin it on a new engine. And I think they're already doing it as well. You know, one of those things, because everyone was just in an upheaval after last year's, this is what we're going to give you, Diablo fans. And everyone was like, this has got to be a horrible April Fool's joke. So, I think it's a good idea to reskin it. It was successful. And if it proves successful, they'll probably go back to Diablo 1 and reskin it on the new engine that they're working on now for 4.
Well, they kind of already did, right? With the one event that they have every year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's already partly there. I agree there will be Diablo 2 remastered, HD, whatever you want to call it. I have yet to be convinced that they're going to use the Diablo 3 engine. I hope they do. I'm hopeful that it becomes an expansion and they add the characters from Diablo 2 into it, but they also let you use your current Diablo 3 characters going through it. I think that would be cool.
Well, if it has the online portion, which I think they're going to include in it, it would be, it would just, you would log in with your account and the characters would be there. So, yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't cross over if they're on the same engine and everything.
Yeah,
it's all ones and zeros. It moves over the same way. So,
and you can play your Diablo 2 characters in 3. That would be, I think, that would be just epic.
That would be. I don't know if they'll go that far, but it would be nice. But yeah, there will definitely be a great cinematic for 4, and a good one for the announcement of 2's remake, and then of course Immortal, which again I'm not excited about. I'll definitely download it and play it because I'm just curious to see how well it plays on a phone. So yeah. And I have a good enough phone to play it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think that Diablo 2 will definitely happen. I think there'll be a cinematic, and I think there'll be some gameplay, especially showing off the classes from Diablo 2.
Yep.
And
there's a little bit of overlap with the Barbarian already there and the Necro. So
right, so you just leave those and just add the Druid and the Rogue and the Amazon, right?
Yes.
And so you add 3 classes, you create the maps with the Diablo 3 engine, ship it.
Easy.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that would be great.
And it'll be easy money in their pocket. It'll buy points back. Everything that Blizzard needs right now.
Yep.
So,
especially if they let you use all the characters from each game in whatever it is. That would earn some huge points. And mainly I'm just saying that because I want to play the Druid in the Diablo 3 engine. I love the Druid. I want to play it again. Give me my Druid back.
You'll definitely see the Druid in 4, though.
You think they'd be in 4?
I think so.
I think there might be a Druid-like
combination. I think you're going to see all of the classes in 4. So you're going to have a much wider variety to choose from. Is what I think.
So what you're thinking they're going to add all of them, like all their past classes: the Witch Doctor, the Necromancer, the Rogue, the Amazon, the Demon Hunter.
The Amazon and Barbarian are one and the same, pretty much.
No, the Amazon was the range class in Diablo 2.
I thought she was melee.
She could use a spear. She did have a tree for that, but she was mainly used for being an archer.
There'll probably a 1-for-1 type of thing. So the Witch Doctor will probably be ported over the. You're gonna see like the Demon Hunter, the Witch Doctor, the Demon Hunter. You'll of course the Necro, the Barbarian, the Paladin. You're gonna see a lot of the popular ones from the original ones, and you'll see the popular ones from the newer ones in there. So
yeah,
I just think they're gonna want to. Again, Diablo was shit on so bad by the previous ones that they really need to make it up to that community. So I think they're just going to give them what they want.
Just put them together.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, a lot of this is me being hopeful as well.
Yeah, me as well. I'm a big Diablo fan. I know I don't stream it or do Let's Plays on it because it's when I started doing Let's Plays and streaming, it was already kind of out of favor. But I still play it, like, not regularly, but I still play it from time to time. Jump in and check out a new season and whatnot. So, the only thing I do hope that they do with Diablo 4 and whatever they do with 2 is I hope it comes out day 1 on console. I know we won't be playing on console, but I like playing on console. So, because it's just easier for me to use a controller for that kind of gameplay.
Oh, no, for me it's always mouse and keyboard. It's a lot easier for dungeon crawlers that way. So,
yeah, I don't know if you noticed it, but when I was playing Final Fantasy, I was using a controller.
Yeah.
So, all right, so my next prediction, which is something that's been clamored about out there and rumored about, Overwatch 2. And I think that when they announce it, it will have a single player campaign, which will introduce all the characters. So you'll get to play as whatever the next Tracer is for an episode, and then you'll get to play as Reinhardt for an episode, and then you know what I'm saying? Whatever the characters are that they introduce, you'll get to play them for a while in the single player, and then switch to as the story progresses. And I think we'll get a cinematic and a logo. I don't think we'll get much more than that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really haven't got any. I really didn't think about that at all. I don't know if there will be for that. There's still so much they can do with Overwatch, and plus, Overwatch is their cash cow. The Overwatch League and all of that. That's huge. They've spun up professional teams all up throughout the U.S. So I don't know if there will be one right now.
But it could be strictly single player.
Maybe.
And it might not be called Overwatch 2. It might be called Overwatch blah 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 blah.
I honestly think that it's they might put that into regular Overwatch. I don't know. Give actual backstory play to how Overwatch was before they were disbanded or something like that. But honestly, I don't know if they would spin off a whole new title for that. I don't know. Maybe. I could be wrong. But
well, if they want to keep their esport and all that stuff separate, that's the only way they could do it, right? If they do it in Overwatch 2, either all those teams come over and start playing Overwatch 2, and it's still the Overwatch League, it's just now they're playing Overwatch 2 because that's the latest and greatest, or they spin it off to a single-player only campaign and have it that way. I don't know. Just a thought. I think that there will be an Overwatch announcement for the next game. It will have a single-player campaign. I don't know if it'll be single-player only.
Okay. So for me, for Overwatch, we're going to get a new hero, one or two. We're going to get we'll get an animated short with that character. And then I said we were going to get an Overwatch PvE gameplay announcement. So I was thinking they were going to port it in and go, okay, here's some campaign play, as opposed to spinning off a new title. But it's definitely going to be a new character. There's always animated shorts, and then some single stuff. That's what I think, because people like you and me who are like, okay, Overwatch is great and all, but I don't want to have to get on there and play versus other people all the time, and I'm more into it for the story. So give me single player, let me run with it, and release it in a series. Okay, this is for Reinhardt, this is for Tracer, this is for Black Widow, and all of that stuff, and then you got it right there. So
I think what it'll come down to is how much gameplay they have. If it's 10 to 15 hours, they add it into Overwatch. If it's 20 to 30 or more, they spin it off into its own game. Whatever the length is that they think makes a single a title on its own, if it reaches that mark on hours, then it will go to be its own thing, I think.
Well, that's usually 20 to 30 hours. It's usually...
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to have 20 to 30 hours right now. So I think it's all going to get ported in.
With all those characters? They could.
Well, they're not going to do every character out the gate. There's no way. There's not even time for that right now. So they're going to do all the popular characters that are played in competition. So that would be Tracer, all of the other ones, and then they'll get onto the Torbjorns and all the other ones that aren't used in competitive play later on.
I think they'll get to all the ones that are in the story, and they all intertwine in the story in the heydays of Overwatch, right? So
yeah, so like McCready and that one female Southern character, will what their ties are in a campaign, and then maybe the one ninja that's mostly cybernetic and the other guy that uses the bow. We'll find
Hanzo,
out
yeah, and
Hanzo and the other guy, and we'll figure out how those guys are intertwined as well. So, but I mean, again, there's so many characters that it's like, again, I don't think it's gonna. They're just gonna release it piece by piece into the regular game, I think, and that extends Overwatch's shelf life.
maybe
You know,
it's possible. Yeah, they could do that.
and I wouldn't, and I don't see them spinning off a new Overwatch until they have a new engine. And I really don't think they're going to devote all of this time building a new engine for two different games. I mean, if they're worrying about Diablo right now, developing an engine for Overwatch, that's a lot of.
But they have two different teams, right? They have the Diablo
Well, they're
team and they have
different teams,
Overwatch team.
but yeah, but I mean, building an engine's different than building a game. The engine's what it's built on, but engine is still.
Well, they already have the Overwatch engine, so they could just iterate on it and make it better, add the features that they want to add.
I guess. I mean, that's usually creating a new engine,
Yeah,
but
I don't think that they're ready for another competitive game. I agree with you on that. I think that they want to keep the one that they got going. So if there's an Overwatch announcement, it'll be a single player campaign, either like what you said, they roll it into Overwatch, or if there's enough content, they'll make it its own single player.
Overwatch Origins.
It could be. All right. So did you have another one, or was it back at me?
I went down all IPs. So.
All right. So here's the thing that I have. Did you have another one?
Oh, I did StarCraft. I did Hearthstone. I did Heroes of the Storm and Warcraft. So yeah, I did them all.
All right. So what do you think with StarCraft? Then go ahead.
So StarCraft is the only thing we're really going to get is a new co-op commander. That's about it. I don't see that they may announce something more than that, but
like a 3, you think, or no?
3 might be next year's announcement. I just don't think there's anything in the works for that right now because StarCraft is still doing pretty good on where it is. It's an esports game. That's all it really is. They've released enough expansions and they've wrapped up the story. So I don't know. I mean, there could be, but right now I think the only thing is going to be this year is a new co-op commander.
Very possible. Very, very possible. I don't really follow StarCraft, so I didn't really think about StarCraft too much. I think there's a very small percentage that they do a StarCraft 3, but I'm with you. I think if they do that, it'll be next year or the year after. Yep. So I kind of agree with that. My next prediction, and then my last prediction, because I only really had 3, is I think they're going to announce a new IP.
Okay.
And I don't know what that means. That could be their next MMO because Warcraft's on its last leg. And it may be just a general logo, maybe a short cinematics so that we understand what it is. But it's, a new IP that we haven't heard of or thought of or whatever. And may or may not be an MMO because I think they still want the MMOs to continue. But yeah, I really think that it's time for a new IP from them.
Well, remember, Overwatch is their newest IP, and it's not that old. So
3-4 years. So
yeah, and for Blizzard, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't think this game will be ready next year or anything. I think they're like 2 years out on development or something at least if they announce it.
Okay.
It just
all right,
and hasn't been rumors of anything in a long time either. The last thing was Titan, and that became
Overwatch.
They believe it became Overwatch. I don't know if that's really what it happened. They might have taken the characters and some of the assets, but yeah, I don't know on that one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, there very well could be a new IP, but I think with them reskinning Diablo 2, reskinning Warcraft 3, because my other prediction is we're going to get a release date for Warcraft 3 remaster.
Yeah, I think that'll happen too.
And then Heroes of the Storm, a new hero as well, a cinematic along with that, and some gameplay, a new map. and then for Hearthstone, and it's pretty much a new expansion, a new pack that they're going to be doing the cinematic and the gameplay with it. So that covers all of the IPs as they stand right now.
I think for Warcraft 3, we'll get the cinematic, be a short cinematic, and then they'll give us some funny, like, in game thing with a peon or something making a joke or something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're definitely going to give us how it looks on the new engine. They'll probably let us play it on the floor, which I'm excited for. And then I think they might allude that if this does well, they might reskin the other ones as well. Because, like, Orcs and Humans and the second one were very popular.
Yeah, and if they have this one reskin, they can just use their assets from it and go back. I don't think there's anything that they took out.
They can also either bundle it or again charge you for each one, and then again make more money and keep people happy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something to be said for the Warcraft series being the RTS part of it that most people forget is where it all started. I think that's the other thing with that one is all these World of Warcraft players don't understand that Warcraft was actually an RTS before it. So,
yes, that's where all the history came from, pretty much all the way up till Cataclysm was all pulled in from Warcraft. So, everything after that has been strictly, medicine and everyone else coming up with story, but yeah, everything else is pulled up in from the Warcraft series. So there may be like a new MMO like Warcraft 2 or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Warcraft's done yet. I still think there's more story to be told. It's just, can they do it and do it right and not keep following this every other expansion is a dud. They need to get some solid expansions out there, as well as keep updating the engine behind it, because it keeps aging and it ages quicker and quicker as our graphics cards keep jumping up as quickly as they do. But it might be time to just move over to Warcraft 2 and kind of carry on the story from there on a completely new engine.
So you think if they do announce another MMO, it'll be World of Warcraft 2?
I think it'll be based in that realm because I think that's where they're comfortable. I really couldn't see any other IP that Blizzard would go with yet, unless, I don't know. I just don't. I haven't heard anything with them working on anything different right now.
Well, there's been rumors of World of Diablo type of deal.
And they could. But
yeah, and
I don't know.
I know I mentioned this to you the other day was that there was a rumor that From Software was working with Blizzard on the next Diablo title. It didn't work out, and it became Sekiro.
Yeah,
Shadows Die Twice. I don't know how much validity there is there, but it's kind of cool to think about that being a possibility.
Yes. So, and I wouldn't be entirely upset if they turned Diablo into an MMO. There's definitely a lot of story there. I think they would have to start back at the beginning.
Oh yeah, definitely. Starting
back
Tristram
at the beginning, even before he shoved the stone in his head. Way before that, and explain how the evils get started and all that.
So when he showed up in Tristram and heard about the cathedral and had to go down and figure everything out, yeah, all that. I agree. It would have to start there. But how would?
But they would have to. How you would take a dungeon crawler and turn it into a MMO? I can't quite figure that out yet in my head. How they would do that.
How did they take an RTS and turn it into? They just...
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I think if they started after everything that's happened so far, if they started like where the timeline is now, I think would be a good spot.
Well, all of the primevals have been defeated at this point, so
But Diablo never seems to die, right? So maybe have some
no.
kind of
But this
event that
time,
brings them all back.
but at this time he's dead. I mean, you see his corpse as it's falling from the heavens break up. You know,
But as long as the crystal's there,
where is the crystal though? I mean,
that's the thing. And the other thing they haven't never discussed is he the only one with a crystal, or do the other primes have crystals as well? And they just never discussed them, never showed them.
well, remember, all of them got pulled into the black stone, and it was
True.
shattered. And basically, when you go into the expansion, when you're dealing with the Angel of Death, he only has a fragment of the black stone. So there's a possibility that the primevals escaped, but again,
Or maybe there's fragments of the black stone all over the place that are corrupting things and people.
yeah, there's that too. I don't know. There's definitely a possibility. I just don't know how they would do it, you know?
Yeah, I don't either. I don't even know where the story goes from here for Diablo 4, to be honest with you. But they've obviously... If everything that's pointing to Diablo 4 is true, they obviously have a plan, so it'll be definitely interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if the high heavens are still there, then they're obviously the hells still have to be there, and if the original primevals are gone, there's going to have to be new, I think, primevals. I just don't think Diablo will come back. You know, he was always the prime of the primevals. So I don't know if he'll come back, but there will always be another demon to succeed the others. So I don't know.
Or an angel to become the bad guy like Maltheo.
Yeah, well, Maltheo was corrupted though. He was corrupted by that fragment.
Yeah, but I mean,
and that was
other angels could be corrupted too.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was sent out to investigate and got corrupted. But yeah, it could happen. Just as I don't know. It could definitely happen. So, and it would be interesting. That would definitely be a good start. Turn that into an IP or into an MMO I'd definitely play it and subscribe to it. So,
yeah, I don't know what they would call it. Diablo, the shards of the Black Crystal, or something. I don't know.
I mean, it just. I mean, Warcraft turned into the world of Warcraft, so it could be the world of Diablo or something. Just
that would make sense for him to use it.
I mean, it would be interesting. I'd like to see Tristram from a MMO point of view and see what Sanctuary looks like from a MMO point of view. I mean, it's definitely got story and immersive enough, so why not? As long as they do the damn cow level, I'm okay. Everything has to be there. You know, even if they only bring it out a couple of times a year, you can get in there. It's got to be there. Yeah.
So, I've never told you this story, but I worked with somebody that I won't give names because you never know. There's the off chance that they'll watch this, but they claim to be directly responsible for the cow rumor in the first place.
Really?
In Diablo 1, where you click they say click the cow 1,000 times or whatever it is, and you'll get the secret cow level. It never happened, obviously, because there was no secret cow level in 1, but it became in 2.
Yes.
They claim direct responsibility for that, starting the rumor. I don't remember exactly how they said they started or whatever, but something about being in the forums or something where it all started in there. That they made the post. I don't know. All right, so here's the part where I didn't prompt you for anything. So
sure.
Either today or yesterday, I think it was yesterday, they announced that there's going to be 6 panels at BlizzCon, but they didn't say what was going to be on the panels. They just said there's going to be 6 panels, and they left it all of them blank. They didn't say like there's going to be a Overwatch one. They left all 6 of them blank. What do you think is going to be on those panels?
Sorry. Those panels are usually, they're not always told what they're going to be, but usually one has to do with each IP, and then one has to do with what that big announcement is. So going further into detail on that. So that kind of fills in those blanks.
So you think World of Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, Hearthstone. What about the other 2?
So StarCraft won't get one because it's just not a big enough title right now. And there could be something that's just Blizzard-esque. One year they did something. It was looking for group or whatever, and it was just how Blizzard has contributed to the gaming community and stuff like that. But as for the last one, I don't know. I don't know what it could be. I mean, I could bring up the thing and see what we're looking at for BlizzCon and
I think that if there is 6 and 2 of them are pretty much unknown, I think if they do announce a new IP, they'll have a panel on that.
So yeah, that's okay. So on the main Mythic stage, this is kind of every year. They really don't tell you what's going on. You're usually filled in right after opening ceremony of what's going on. So there very well could be something that you and I just don't know right now. So, and it could be even as maybe they're finally going to do another movie, which I've been hoping and praying that they'll carry on the next movie.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Do you think they'll announce the new movie?
I hope so, because after how good of a job they did with the first movie, I would like to see them roll into. Someone's a little unhappy. She's starting to throw temper tantrums, getting into that terrible 2 phase. But so basically, they got to where they opened up the portal and all that. So it'd be kind of cool if they did like a Burning Crusades version of the movie. And if that does well, then roll into Wrath, because I would really like to see Wrath, on the screen.
You want to see the Lich King?
Yeah, because the Lich King has always been the guy that I remember I started raiding during Wrath of the Lich King. So I was in the military and getting deployed during the first 2 expansions, so I didn't get to raid. But I did during Wrath, so yeah, not a Wrath baby, but where I started playing Warcraft at that. But that was definitely my launching endpoint to raiding. So yeah, it'd be nice. Maybe there is a movie that would be nice too, as well.
Yeah, that wouldn't be nice to see the movie. I don't think there is one though. I think at this point there would have been talks about who's going to be playing what and who's writing the script and who's the director. There would have been something that leaked out of Hollywood, I think. There was a lot of news before the actual movie was announced the last time. So, I mean, I'm hopeful. I hope they do. But
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, you could be right on that. I don't watch a lot of the Hollywood stuff, so I don't know. I
don't either, but I watch enough of the gaming news stuff that if there was any kind of news, even a rumor, it would have been covered by these guys, and I would have heard about it. So
yeah,
yeah, that's pretty much all I have, unless you wanted to go over anything else over there on your notes.
No, that was all in my notes. That's all I had.
Do you have any
The mo-
idea what the next Hearthstone expansion will be? Do you have any hopes?
uh, well, with they're really kind of jumping around with the packs now, so it's not like they're following any story or anything. So I don't know. I mean, I didn't even expect like goblins and gnomes as their one expansion, or the one where it was the city heist or whatever. I don't know what to expect for those. As
So,
long as there's something and it's decent, I usually don't care.
so correct me if I'm wrong here, but doesn't Hearthstone kind of follow along like Warcraft? Isn't it more in the Warcraft kind of?
It is in the Warcraft realm or universe because all the characters are Warcraft, but the stories don't always follow. They don't go in a chronological order, or even some of them, like, they released the original pack and then they did like BlackRock, and then they didn't do anything with and then they did like Anaxaramus thing, but these are all single player modes. But I don't know, everything seems to be based off of a single player type of campaign, and then there's packs for competitive play. So I really don't do a lot of competitive play with it. I do a lot of the stories and the in-game events. I jumped in a little too late this month to do the Horseman stuff. That ended before I could finish. I got halfway through it the other day, but I wasn't recording because I didn't know what to expect. So it was I should have recorded it though.
But that's when you should record it, when you don't know what to expect, because then you get that surprise. But
yeah,
you think there's any chance they do a crossover and bring in another universe into Hearthstone?
And, I don't know.
Or you think they keep it strictly World of Warcraft with that feel and everything? Is it getting to a point where they need to inject some excitement by adding Diablo or StarCraft or even Overwatch into it?
No, I think it's going to stick with World of Warcraft, because I think it's Hearthstone Heroes of
Azeroth
Warcraft.
or something?
Yeah, Heroes of something like that. So it will always have to do with the Warcraft lore. So, but yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm looking at it. It's like there probably won't be never be a sequel to the Warcraft movie. So
Is that what it's...
Yeah, that's what I'm reading on some of the sites. I'm like, okay, I guess there'll never be another movie. It would have been nice, but
I think, to be honest with you, I think you and I are one of the few people that actually enjoyed that movie. There's a lot of people that criticized it, and I don't know why, because I thought it was, at a minimum, perfectly fine, but I thought the cinematics and everything made it a good movie. Not great, but good.
So the only true criticism I had of it was when they jumped through the portal to come into Azeroth, they came in through that lake. Well, they actually came through a portal on our side, which was almost identical on the other side. So that was
right, but that's because you played the game, so that's a small critique. Or maybe they didn't because...
Well, in game, that's how it
right, in game it did, but if you think about it, somebody on the other side would have had to build it for them, right?
And
there was the trader, but I don't.
His name did build it. For them on this side.
The wizard, right? Whatever his name is.
Yeah, he was the last. God, I can't remember his name. I'd have to. As you can tell, I haven't played Warcraft in so long. I'm starting to forget everyone's major important part.
I'd have to watch the movie again, but yeah. So it ended up where he did betray them. Yeah. And open a portal for them.
Remember, he was also corrupted by the Fel.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why he did it.
That was like his drug of choice.
Well, yeah. But remember, Fel energy is more potent than regular magic. So
So they
But
say.
yeah.
So they say. I
Well,
wouldn't know myself.
Well, I mean, that's how warlocks got their ability and all that. They were regular mages that fell
Yeah.
to the corruption of the fell energy.
Fell to the fell.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've never partaken in the fell, so I wouldn't know.
I play a warlock, my primary character, so yeah, he fell to it.
He fell to it hard.
Yep.
All right, I think we've covered pretty much everything, so we're gonna go ahead and end. Unless last chance.
No, I am good. I think we did good on covered everything that was important.
Yep. Now we just gotta wait till November 2nd to start and see who's right.
Yeah.
So.
Now we just get to see.
Yep.
So we'll find out.
All right, so until next video stream, take care. Bye-bye now, Static Buzz and Oz.
And see you guys later.
We are out. And let's do this and this. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Did the music start? I hit the music. I don't hear it, though. Ah, well. That's fine. At least it's the screen. Yeah, there's the music.